Attention citizens, nuclear strike imminent.
Oh, Vault Dwellers, I don't know if you noticed, Todd has escaped the dungeon, his dwellings. And we all know what happens when Todd is let loose, don't we?
Who's laughing now?
Oh no, not that. We can forgive a minor discrepancy, but this is unforgivable.
Okay, so yeah, this is kind of... I think it's bad news, but I see their reasons for doing it. So if we take a look at the patch notes for the PTS, so this is what they're doing that is probably going to be released with their big update in December. It's kind of hidden in between all the cool stuff that's coming, so I don't know how many people will have seen it because there's so much stuff coming in December and it's really exciting. And in the mix of it, they've put a little section about the Gleaming Depths. And what it says is, almost a year after its introduction, Gleaming Depths has proved to be an excellent place for players looking for an endgame challenge to push themselves and their builds to the limit. We're introducing a new weekly challenge for Gleaming Depths that can be completed by working through all stages of the raid. Your reward for doing so will be a 4-star legendary cache that contains a 4-star legendary item: armor, power armor, melee weapon, or ranged weapon. Now, I don't understand if this means like you'll get one of each, you'll get a power armor, you'll get an armor, a melee weapon, and a ranged weapon, or if it means one 4-star item in a cache with other things. Because that's what it sounds like. Let me know what you guys think, but it does sound like you're just going to get one 4-star item from doing the full raid, and you'll only get that once a week. It can't be, can it? It can't. Because that's just ridiculous. Okay, the next bit. To go along with this new weekly challenge, we're also redistributing the raid rewards so that the farther you progress in the Gleaming Depths, the more exciting the rewards will be. We know this may cause some disruptions to your local ENO6 farming group, and you can still farm him for XP, but it was never our intention to have one phase of the raiding experience be the source of some of the most coveted rewards in the game. So I don't know, because everyone's in there at the moment farming for those 4-star rewards from ENO6. And it's got to be quite easy now. It's got to the point where the builds are so good, you can kind of easily solo farm him over and over and over, quite quickly as well. So it is a bit OP at the moment. However, it looks like, from what they're saying, they're going to be changing the rewards so they get better rewards the further on you go, which I believe was already the case. At least that's what the Dino Lord and I were told from someone we were playing with, who had already done the raid a few times. And I did get something later on in the raid. We've only done the raid once all the way through, and I did get something that I've never got from all the times farming ENO6. So I know you do get different rewards as you progress the raid, so hopefully we will still get 4-star stuff for completing sort of different stages of the raid, but it doesn't sound like the 4-star stuff is going to be dropping from ENO6 anymore. It's just that if they're locking the 4-star rewards, like behind the actual, the snake, let's say, the final boss of the raid, so I don't know how far they're going to go with that, but so you could get all the way through the whole raid and you get like an item of armor with 4-star runners on it, you're going to be devastated. You're going to be so devastated. That is just going to be not worth doing, in my opinion. Unless what they're doing is they're just taking the good stuff that we were getting from Neo 6, and whatever you would have got from that, you will then get sort of throughout the rest of the raid for the different stages. And I think if they're going to do this, they do need to make the drill stage, the one with mole miners. I do think that needs altering slightly to make it perhaps a little less difficult, because for us that is the most difficult stage of the raid. We got very close a couple times, but we only got through it because someone had like some glitched fuel that they were able to get before they patched out. There was like a place near the ghoul area on the map where people were able to farm that fuel for a little bit before they patched it out, so people have still got like a backlog of it. And there is other ways people are glitching it, I think, and stuff, but I don't really fancy trying that stuff out, and it just sounds a bit dodgy. But somebody clearly had some fuel from before, and they joined our group, and they just put the fuel in, we got past the moles, and then the rest of the raid was quite fun. It took a while, and it took quite a bit of figuring out, but it was fun. It's just that they need to, if they're going to do this, like take away all the good stuff from ENO6, because like you've seen in the patch notes, they've said you can still farm him for XP. Which makes me think, yeah, they're taking away the rewards. They're taking away the decent shit. I do think, let me know if you agree with me, but I do think that they need to make the drill section, they do need to sort of alter that slightly, in my opinion, to make it a bit easier. I don't know if it's just my experience, but from the people that we were playing with, like we had people popping in and out all day trying to help us with it until we got this guy who had the fuel. And people were saying that the drill is the hardest bit. The drill gets so overrun at the later point in this, it's just very, very difficult. Especially if your runner dies and then one of your drill protectors has to go and then do the running. But like I said, that is my experience with it. If you've got any tips on how to complete the drill a bit easier, please let me know, because come December I'm going to need it. I do think that perhaps ENO6 is a little OP, because the amount of mods boxes we've got from this is, we've got so many of them. We have farmed so many. But the 4 stars are not actually, it's not actually OP for 4 stars, I don't think, because you don't get that many dropping. And when you do, it's not really the ones that you want. Like I said, we've got a lot of runners and stuff, which we're never going to use. I know some people might find that useful, but for us, it's really not. We were looking kind of for the reflectives. And so far, we must have farmed him, it's got to be knocking on nearly 400 times now. And I've had a reflective on a left leg, and that is all. The Dino Lord's had a reflective on a left leg about 4 times, and that just on the left leg. And obviously you can't drop the Vulcan armor for anyone, you can't trade it, you know, so the surplus of those are going to scrap, which I guess you got a chance of learning reflective from doing that, but he hasn't yet. And then he did get 1 reflective mod box, and I think he's had a reflective right leg too, and that's after doing it, like I said, probably knocking on 400 times now. So he's got a left leg, a right leg, and a box. And I've just had 1 left leg drop with reflective on it. So I wouldn't call that OP myself. I don't know what you guys think. We have had some good stuff like polished, pinpointers, pyromancers. We have had those rewards drop like more than once. But it's weird, like I tend to get the pyromancers and the Dino Lord tends to get pinpointers. He's had like 2 pinpointers, and I've had a few of the, I think it's Pyromaniacs, I can't remember what the mod's called, the 4-star mod, but it's really good if you put it on a flamer, and I've had a few of those, and that's again in the amount of times that we've done it, which is a lot. So I don't think it's OP for 4 stars with the amount of times you have to do it to get the 4 stars that you actually want. That could be just me being biased because I'm enjoying taking advantage of farming him so easily. I don't know, but it is OP for mod boxes in general. So I do see why they have done this, you know? The thing is that a lot of people have been playing this since the raid came out and have been like farming it constantly. And so anyone who has farmed the crap out of it since it came out a year ago has probably already got everything that they want. And then there is a lot of new players. We've noticed, especially on Xbox, I don't know if it's because it's on Game Pass or what, but there's so many new players. There's more new players than older players. You see a lot of low levels knocking about all the time. And I think it's a little bit unfair on those that they don't have the chance to be able to farm it and get the mods that the people who've been playing since the start of the Gleaming Depths have actually got now. So I feel like that's just a little bit of a shame. And then when the new players go online looking for advice on how to do the raid and stuff, there's just going to be people on there going, oh, you need a 4-star this, you need a 4-star that. And they're just going to be like, well, where do I get that? And they're like, well, you get it from doing the raid. And then you've got to do the whole raid to get one. I don't know. It just sounds a bit mad. Obviously, we don't know how these rewards are going to get redistributed, but the chances of getting what you want is going to be very, very slim by the sounds of it. We're quite lucky. Like, we found it so much that we have got a lot of the things that we want, because we took a little bit of a break from Fallout and we only came back maybe just over a month ago. And since then, we have hammered this non-stop. But we had to actually trade for the rest of the reflectives. Some guy had a load of them, but we managed to trade some of our plans and stuff for a couple more reflectives, which I'd be honest with you, okay? On a side note here, the Dino Lord, because he had 2 pieces anyway, like I said, and he got a box, so he put that on, and then he traded for another 2, and then I traded for 1. So I've got like 2 pieces of reflective, he's got 5, and we're not noticing that much of a difference against ENO6 with him having 5 and me having 2. Like, we're both sort of taking his shield down at about the same pace. There must be like a marginal difference, but it seems to be very slight compared to, like, we were so excited. We were like, oh my god, so you've got all 5 pieces now. Let's go in and see if we can wreck him. This is going to be amazing. And it was like a bit of a like, oh, it wasn't really what we expected, you know? I'm not sure what we expected. We expected to like shred him, but yeah, it didn't quite go that well. Because as you've seen with the last video we did, when we did Mr. Westek's build, you can actually do it. If you've got the bullet shield card on and the ricochet card, you can actually do it in Troubleshooter's power armor without any 4 stars on it. The shield doesn't come down as fast as if you've got a reflective piece on, but it can be done that way, you know, it just takes more time. Anyway, I got sidetracked there. So yeah, with the change, I think if they'd have done it like soon after its release, it would have been fine, because it's not long come out. They're still putting the feelers out, seeing how it's going and stuff. I feel like, you know, maybe a couple of weeks after the Gleaming Depths has been released, but a year nearly, well, it will be a year, I think, by the time they release this. I just think they've left it too long and people are so used to it, people are going to be a bit peed off. I do agree that it has been exploited. We've exploited it. Everybody's been exploiting it because it's just so good for loot. I mean, it's not just... That's the other thing. It's not just the mod boxes. You're getting bobblehead packages. You're getting magazine packages. You're getting serums. You're getting a lot of caps. So the other rewards are incredible too. So I don't know if they're going to be taking those rewards away as well. I mean, I hope not. I really hope not. Because what they've said is you can still farm him for XP. So it makes it sound like a lot of the rewards are going to be going. So I'm thinking everybody needs to get on and farm the shit out of it before December. It is lucky that they're dropping a lot of new content with this update in December, because I do believe it is December. I'm correct on that, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm sure it's December they said. But Bethesda are lucky that they're releasing a lot of new stuff at the same time, because I do think it might put people off a little bit if it was just this coming and they were just going to nerf ENO6 and nothing new was coming. I think a lot of people would be a bit put off by it and not really want to play it as much. And like I said, I do agree with why they've done it. It is OP, or else we wouldn't be all farming it all the time, would we? But it does feel like a bit of a kick in the nuts for new players. But yeah, he's getting nerfed, guys. He's getting nerfed. So farm him now, and farm him to high heaven, because you're going to want the stuff that he's dropping right now. And if you're nervous about getting in there and doing the raid and trying him for the first time, check out our last video. I'll put it in the description. I'll also put Mr. Westek's video in the description, which is the one that we covered in the last video we did, where he shows the beginner's build and how to do it. What we did was just basically copy that build and see if we could get it to work for us, because I'm never sure if when you watch a YouTuber doing this stuff and they're like, look, do this build, I'm always like, yeah, but is it going to work? And it did work. It does work. Like, so I'll put those two videos in the description below. And please just get out there and farm him soon as you can and stay on it until you get what you want, because it's not going to be there for long. Those rewards are not going to be there for long. And let me know your thoughts. Do you think this is a good thing? Do you think they should have probably implemented it earlier if they were going to do it and not now? Because there seems to be, the last sort of month or so, is there is an influx of just ENO6 videos. Like, there's just so many of them all of a sudden out of nowhere. It's like, this is how you do him solo, this is how you do him easiest, this is how you get the most damage on him. And it seems to be only recently that people are really sort of exploiting, I guess, him. So I don't know what's been happening for like the last year. Why now, you know? And then it's only since obviously they've seen this that they've decided, right, well, we're going to nerf him then, because everyone's finding it too easy now. And yeah, it is a bit easy. The rewards are a bit OP, but I don't think the 4-star rewards are that OP myself, with how many of them there are and the chance you have of getting the one that you want. But if you do it enough, you will get them drop. So I don't know. I'm so torn. But all I can say is we're just going to be farming him non-stop. That's all we did over the weekend, pretty much. And that's what we're going to be doing until December, I think. And I think you should do the same. Yeah. Anyway, I'll stop rambling now. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'm really interested to hear what people have got to say about this. And if you enjoyed the video, maybe give us a thumbs up. Consider subscribing if you're not already. And have a great day. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care.
Get the bell on.
Thank you for your cooperation.